Hello everyone, I'm Chidubem Jude. I'm the realtor with teeth, right? Don't mention. Right, so you're welcome to my channel. You're welcome to my channel. So if you're curious about land investments in Nigeria, right, but you're a bit lost, right? You're a bit lost, you're uncomfortable due to too much information here and there, right? And you need clarity. So you're in the right place. Yes, you're in the right place. Here I will share tips and my own experience to help you take the very first step. Right. So let's inspire each other as we go into this exciting journey of real estate. Right. So today I want to talk to us about an important topic and actually very practical one, not theory, practical tips. Right. And I want to talk to us about how to truly identify a strategic location before the crowd moves in, right? If you watched my last video, the last two video I made where I talked about land versus rental, which will make you richer in Nigeria, right? Where I talked about how it depends on your goal, right? How it depends on what you want and what fits you, right? Towards the end, I promise you that I'm going to show you practical ways to truly identify a strategic location, right, before the crowd moves in. And that is what I'm going to do now, right? So just stay with me and let's dive into it. Okay, so how to truly identify a strategic location before the crowd moves in or before the social media noise, right? Now, I discovered that most people discover a good location after the prices have already gone high, right? Now, by that time, everyone is already talking about it, and once social media is already loud about that place, then the opportunity is as good as gone, right? So in this video I will show you practical ways on how to identify a strategic location before the noise, before the price movement, and before everyone or before the crowd moves in, right? So there's going to be 5 shifts for you to be able to do this, right? 5 shifts. Now, the very first shift is stop watching people and start watching the government, right? Stop watching people and start watching the government. Now, strategic location usually shows signs early enough before the price movement, like it shows signs years before the price movement, right? And you have to look out for things like road expansion. You have to look out for things like airports and seaports upgrade in that location. You have to also look out for things like industrial zones. Is there any industrial activity going on in that location? And also housing or urban master plan, right? When it comes to watching the government, you have to check these things. The road expansion, is there any upgrade that's going on either on the airport or the seaport? Is there any industrial activity in that location? I watch out for these things because now you have to know that money flows where infrastructure is heading, not where noise already exists. Right? Money flows where infrastructure is heading, not where noise already exists. Alright, now the second shift you have to pay attention to, or that must happen, is that you have to follow access, not beauty. Right? Now, I discovered that many buyers tend to look at stuff like beautiful flyers, fancy names, and estate gates, right? But things strategic location often look ugly, right? It looks ugly at first. No, it's not fancy. No, it doesn't look like it at first. No, you see bushes here and there and the rest of them. No, before it becomes valuable. But I tell you, this is what you have to ask. If you can answer this question, or if that location answers this question, or maybe the seller answers it today, I promise you, you're good to go in that location. Now, you have to ask, how easy is access today, right? If you can discover how easy access is today, and then how much easier will it be in 2 to 5 years? How much easier will it be in 2 to 5 years? If that location answers these two questions correctly, then I tell you it's an opportunity for you to key in, regardless of if it is beautiful or has a beautiful flyer or fancy name or not, right? Because accessibility creates demand even long before aesthetics catch up, accessibility creates demand long before aesthetics catch up. Right. Now, the third shift that needs to happen is that you need to watch out for quiet developers arriving. Quiet developers. Remember, I said quiet developers. Now, the thing is, before the crowd moves, before the crowd comes in, developers arrive quietly. Quietly, no noise. They don't move with emotions, right? Now, you have to look out for when you start seeing things like surveying activities, begging, when you start seeing new estates emerging slowly, right? You have to pay attention. When you start noticing the signs in a location and you want to, invest in that location, you have to pay attention when you start seeing estates emerging slowly, right? Because developers don't move with emotions; they move with projection, right? They move with projections. Now, the fourth shift that has to happen is you have to understand who is buying, like who and who are buying in this location. Pay attention to this thing. Now, early strategic locations often attract this four caliber of people, right? Now, the first set of persons you see buying in these kind of locations are civil servants. You have to pay attention because it's very important for you to note this because it will help you. You have to civil servants, engineers, middle income workers, and those who are buying to hold, not flip. Those who are buying to hold, not flip. Civil servants, engineers, middle income workers, and those buying to hold, not flip. Right? And if you notice that mostly buyers in that area are spectators, you need to be careful, right? Because I believe that sustainable demand beats hype every time. Every single time, sustainable demand beats hype. Right? This is the fourth shift that has to take place. Right? Then the fifth signal or shift you have to take note of is time horizon match. Time horizon match. Now, this has to do with patience, right? It's something that has been the major issue that most people tend to refuse or find it difficult to invest in education that doesn't look beautiful just the way they want it. Beautiful at first. Now, a strategic location doesn't reward impatience. Let me just be sincere with you all. It doesn't reward impatience, right? Now, you have to ask yourself this question before you buy. And this will test your readiness or your willingness or how prepared you are for that location. Now, can I wait 3 to 5 years? Right? Am I buying for peace or for pressure? You can assess yourself with these two questions. Can I wait 3 to 5 years? Am I buying for peace or pressure? Now, the best location rewards patience, not urgency. The best location rewards patience, not urgency. Now, there is an estate in Ibiza, Port Harcourt, right? I think the name is Ruby Estate. Now, when that estate was launched, I think about 3 years ago, as at the year it was launched, it was selling for 1.8 million. In fact, someone bought for 1.8 million, and I think middle of 2025, it was selling for 4 million. That is about 150% increase. So you see why you have to be in your list. If you're willing to hold, if you're ready to hold, you actually see capital appreciation. This is not gimmick or any magic. It is time that does the magic. And when development is coming to that location, it gives you an edge, right? That real estate as at mid last year, it was selling for 4 million. That is a 150% increase, right? Now, the crowd looks at certainty, right? But you see, strategic investors, they look for direction. They look for direction. And I tell you this, if you see where movement is going before everyone else agrees, you will buy differently. If you see where movement is going before everyone else agrees, before the social media noise, you will buy differently. I tell you the truth, right? So if you want to learn how to spot opportunities before it becomes popular, right, you can subscribe to this channel, right? Because this channel is about clarity before the crowd wins. It's about clarity. So You can also turn on the notification button so you won't miss out on my next video. Right, thank you guys and see you later.